Hey everybody, today's contact staff tutorial is going to be on some basic upper body stalls. Stalls are a great thing to be adding into your contact staff combinations. They offer some punctuation in your sequences, but they also change the direction of the staff. So I know I sound a bit like a stuck record, but that's another reason for you to be learning every single contact staff trick in both directions, because as soon as you stall, you're going to need tricks going in the side that you're not so used to doing your moves on. So we're going to be working from two basic moves today. One is the neck wrap and the other is the halo. Now if you don't know how to do either of those, I teach tutorials on them in my book First Contact, which you can find more information about by clicking on the little information icon just in the top corner of the screen now. So to start off with, we're just going to balance the staff on our shoulders like so. Okay, fiddle about with it with your hand until it's in roughly the right position. You can also use different body movements to keep it there. It's quite good to practice those sorts of things to get used to how the staff balances on your shoulder. Now taking your other hand, the staff's on my left shoulder here, so I'm going to use my right hand. Obviously switch that around if you're doing it on your other shoulder. We're going to practice both ways anyway, so it doesn't matter. Using your other hand, we're just going to push the staff away from you, and as we do that we want to lift up this shoulder so the staff gets trapped between this shoulder, the little valley between your deltoid and your pec here, and then the back of your neck. So once more, push to the side, stall, push to the side, stall. And once you get the hang of this, I want you to notice the bounce on this other side. As it stalls, it kind of wants to pop back the other way. Now, just for the moment, let's just try and see if you can stall and give it some energy and pop back into your hand. Boom. And on the other side, we're going to go the other direction. Boom. And popping it back. You can also practice this one by turning round. So the staff's now on my right hand shoulder. I'm going to turn round to my right using my other hand to keep the staff moving with my body. As I get round to the front, I can stall there as well and pop back. Okay, so that's one of the basic stalls we're going to do. The next one you need to be a little bit more careful with, because rather than stalling out here, it's going to stall here. Now as you can see, it's getting a little uncomfortably close to my windpipe, so we want to avoid having the staff really clatter into your windpipe, because it's going to hurt and it's not going to do you any favours at all. So in order to do this, first of all, take it slow and gentle. Don't whack the staff back at 100 miles an hour, but also if you turn your neck, so I've turned my head 90 degrees and now the staff is going to be stalling on this kind of lump of muscle and connective tissue to the side of my windpipe rather than directly on these more delicate parts right in the center. So to show you that again, and this time it can also help to put your arm straight up in the air. As you get better at this, you won't need to have your arm quite so high. So exactly as before, we're going to start with the staff balanced on the shoulder, but this time we're going to use the same hand, the hand that's on the side of the staff, and we're going to push the staff into the center. Turn your neck, and in fact I'm even turning my torso with it to make sure I get that fleshy part of my neck and not the windpipe. Boom, stall. And again we've got that bounce as well, so try and use that bounce, always being mindful of not catching your windpipe. So just to show you on the other side, we go that way, that way. And you can also, as before, turn around. stall. There we go. So the first one we're going to focus on is a halo, and in fact you can do this, it's probably best to do this from a sort of slightly reduced halo, at least to start off with, and we're going to make it as horizontal as possible, whereas often halos can be relatively vertical, but we're going to make it horizontal, pretty much like a duck out as well, they're sometimes known as. So we're just going to pop it over the head. Now you can practice that going into hands to start off with, but what we're aiming for is as it pops over the head and comes down or across, we want to lift the shoulder on the side the staff's coming down on, and we're going to use the shoulder here to trap the staff between this little valley you have between like your pec and your deltoid on your shoulder, and it's also going to make contact with the back of your neck here. So on the other side from this reduced halo, boom, to there. And go up, bounce and nudge over, bounce and nudge over, bounce and nudge over, bounce and nudge over. So now we've looked at the halo stalls, which utilise this first basic stall we did earlier on. Now we're going to use the other stall, remembering this is the one, the more dangerous one as it comes towards your windpipe, so be careful. But this one comes from a neck wrap, so we put on a standard neck wrap like so, but instead of taking it off with this hand, you can probably see already what's going to happen. We're not going to take it off with this hand, we're going to let it carry on turning, and as before we're going to turn our necks, put our arm in the air, and we're going to stop the staff between those 2 points. Like so. Bounce it back. And on the other side. Now this one is perhaps a little more tricky to do continuously than the halo version, but the same principle applies. Using that rebound, we're going to try and time our little nudge back the other direction correctly to add more energy to that staff and send it back round the way it came. So neck wrap, stall, neck wrap, stall, neck wrap, stall, neck wrap, stall. Okay, so now we can combine all of these stalls into a nice little exercise. So we're going to go kind of back to the start where we're going to balance the staff on our shoulder, and you can combine these in all sorts of different ways so with the halo we can stall there obviously and ping it back, but if you don't stall and turn around with the staff, you can move into a neck wrap position, and the same vice versa. So we go from, instead of stalling with the neck wrap, you can actually nudge with your shoulder to pop it over your head into the halo position. And you can now, using these different combinations and the fact that you can do both stalls on both sides, you can kind of move around any way you like, controlling the staff on your shoulder. And as you can see, you can build up quite a bit of complexity from just a handful of very simple moves. And this exercise is going to really help you making long, hello. This exercise is going to really help you in making long, complicated upper body sequences that use tricks in both directions. So that about does it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, check out my other channel and my little website where these tutorials are organised. Thanks for watching, see you next time.